Guys, thanks for tuning in. Good to hear from you and good to see you. Alright, okay, we're going on another boat trip today. Oh yes, we're heading out to sea again. Oh yes, but this time on this boat.
As I told you, welcome to Ephesus. The gate that we walked through with our electronic ticket, it was also the ancient gate. That was the land entrance to the city. The people in those days, in ancient times, they used to come not by buses, with horses and donkeys, camels, and they used to walk through that gate because it's the beginning of the valley. It's the way from Asia to get into the city. But if you walk all the way down here, at the end of the valley is the ocean, the Aegean Sea. So they had the port at the end. So the city had two entrances, land and the sea. The rest was hills. You see, the location is between two hills, and on top of these hills, after the gates, and going one to the left and to the right, fortification, the city walls. It was surrounding the whole Ephesus about 9 kilometers. 9 kilometers strong city walls, like a castle. On top of, you don't see it from here, but on top of the hills, there is still the foundation of that old city fortification. So we are in the upper part. And as I told you, the city is not flat, it's like this. And here we're on top. This is sort of Acropolis. And the higher part, also the administration. This was the state area. We won't be able to see anything commercial, just the state buildings. And when we walk a little bit down to the middle, there's a big monumental gateway dividing the city into two parts. After that gate, which we call the Hercules Gate, we'll see the social parts, social, commercial parts. They're all around the sea. I can easily say that part is much better. Because the political area is a little boring, it's not much interesting, but the social part of the city is much more interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, of course you're going to see everything in ruins because the city has been destroyed by an earthquake. After they abandoned Ephesus, because it's in the valley, lots of mudslides came from the hills down to the valley and covered the ruins. When it has been rediscovered in 1875, it was totally buried. There was not anything saved. So Austrian Archaeological Institute, and they found the ruins again, get the permission from the Ottoman Sultan of the time, and they started to clean, excavate. It took us more than 100 years, from 1875 until today, still ongoing. Still we are excavating the ancient city Ephesus, but unfortunately so far we managed to clean only 15%. What we are going to see today, only 15% of the whole city. It still continue, but it's all about money. It's very expensive, to clean them out, and also not the cleaning, not excavation, but we have to do the restoration. Restoration is the most difficult part, because when we find the structures, they're all ruins in the ground. We have to, like a jigsaw puzzle, we put the pieces together, at least to give an idea how was that building was. But see that these are all original, and they were all around. We put them in a pile to protect, because people were stepping on it and breaking this very old water pipes of Ephesus. I want to take your attention to two things. Look, some pipes are so big and some of them are really tiny. It was for the pressure, because water was running in the big pipes. If there are any engineers in my team, you'll understand better. It was getting smaller, bigger, and this way they pressured the water to the buildings. And also there was another problem. Even they connected them to each other with these sockets, still water was leaking. There was a water leak. So they had to seal the connection part so water doesn't leak. Look, can you see that the mortar? This is just the kind of mortar, but it's not like the cement that we use today. It is very easy for us with the technology of today to analyze it. We analyzed it. Inside this there is beeswax, you know beeswax, egg white, and marble dust. Look, I just found a piece. When you rub your finger, you can easily, it's greasy, and you can easily feel that it is beeswax and egg white inside that. So this is organic, almost a seal around the pipes. And this, can you see huge rectangular space? This one. This is sort of town square, but we don't call it town square. We call it Agora. You know, Agora means market or meeting place. In Ephesus, we have two agoras. The one on top, this is state agora, which means they only meetings or gatherings. But down there around the port, there is the commercial agora with the shops. And this is the state agora because no shops around it. Just an open meeting place and surrounded by the state buildings. And today we still use the word, I'm sure you know. Marble is the local stone of Turkey as well. And we are walking in a nice street, but this was not a street for the traffic. There was no chariots, nothing. It has been used only as an arcade, as a gallery for the people. And to make them walk comfortably because there was a roof above.
Yeah.
It is hard for you to imagine, but you see the pillars over there? Pillars here, and there was another line of pillars. Those three pillars sticking out like this, there was a roof above. It was a beautiful covered walkway. There was a wooden construction with two aisles, one aisle here and the other aisle here. So in the hot weathers, when it was raining, it gave them the chance to walk all the way down to the port in the covered walkways.
Okay.
And as this is the political area, there are no shops. But in the arcades, in the commercial area, there are shops as well.
Okay.
When they were just walking in comfortably in the arcades, they were also doing their shopping from the shops. Isn't this clever? Great architecture.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially in hot weather. They didn't go out. There was nice breeze coming from the sea.
Yes.
And they imagined Romans here slowly walking, chatting, especially Roman senators discussing philosophy, politics, and everything. So this was a nice social walkway, or we say the arcade or gallery.
So the normal common citizen wouldn't actually be allowed
normal, because only I gave you the population, 250,000.
Yeah.
Only 10% was free men. Only 10%. 90% were slaves. And if the master gave permission, a slave could come with them. But normally the slaves not allowed, or the slaves came here to work,
Right, yes.
and they allowed to come to
So
the
would there have been the slaves that have built
official.
these pillars and that?
Of course.
Yeah.
And everything in Ephesus has been built with the slave labor, and
Yeah.
the slaves never allowed to live in the city center.
Hmm.
They had their, like today, they had their ghettos.
Yes.
They had in the countryside. They
I
were living
see.
in very primitive conditions.
But
Only-
would the slave craftsmen get a better life though?
Of course.
Standard of living.
Slave craftsmen, especially artists, get
Yeah.
a better life. But the ones who just cut the stones and shaped the stones and did all the heavy work, of course they didn't get a better life. By the way, let's meet here, ladies and gentlemen, because before I walk you down to the main street, because all the way down to the port there's one highway. So we are going to keep following that highway to the port. This is the spot that you can feel that you're in a higher level from the sea. We are 52 meters high from the sea level. Please, everybody look down. Can you see that the flat
Yeah, that's
green
where the
area?
sea was
green
growing,
grass?
she
This-
said.
that was the port. And
Where the sea
I
was.
want you to where the sea
Start from
was.
up here.
Yeah.
The sea was there. And today the reeds are growing in the water. So that's why you don't see there's water. It's a still a marshy area. And in winter, if you ever visit Ephesus in winter, you can see that it's like a lake. After lots of rainfall, it turns, and you can feel much better that once it was sea. But when you turn around the corner to the left, you can still see the Aegean Sea, but 6 kilometers away, 3 miles away. Imagine the sailboats coming to the port of Ephesus, and Ephesians has the view from there. It is controlled by the castles. You know, if you look at small hill, up on the hill there's a tower.
Yeah.
It was the watchtower to control the ships sailing into the port of Ephesus. Now I'm going to walk you down to the main highway. That's in the weather. If they were in a hurry, think about it, they didn't have proper shoes like us. They had their Roman sandals. You see how leather sandals are slippery. It gets on the marble
Like yours,
and
Linda.
hit the water. And easily they slip
I've got rubber.
and they roll down and they end up with broken bones. And that's why they were clever at the end of the street. The building on the right, on the left, sorry, hospital. You know, how clever, isn't it?
That's very clever.
They
Forward thinking.
They roll down and then they kick them straight into the hospital.
Were they the hospitaler, the Templars?
Yeah, no, they were the hospital. It is called in those days not hospital. We say hospital. Esculapion. Esculapion means the place of Esclap, because Esclap, he was the god of health.
Ah.
And in those days, you know, for everything there was a god. And this is Greek and Roman city. They worshipped, they were pagan.
Have-
They worshipped Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. So the god for health was Esclap. And then the name of the daughter of Esclap was Hygeia, where the word hygiene. And
Oh.
that's why the name of an hospital was Esculapion, means that the place of Esclap, not hospital, we say today. So there was an Esculapion
Oh.
on the left. We are 100% sure because in the building, when we were doing the excavations, we discovered medical utensils. Lots of tools for operation, metal tools, but not metal, they were silver. Because silver, you know, antiseptic. So they did all the operations with the silver knives and the silver needles and everything.
Did you know, babe?
All has been discovered
Did you hear
in
that?
that building.
What about the
Not only
silver?
that,
Silver
because Ephesians,
operating implements.
They use inscriptions, but also they use signs to describe what is. And we call them road signs. Not everybody, even the slaves, could read and write. So that's why they put the signs to explain and where they were. So here at this corner, on the left hand side, we found a sign of medicine. Do you know what the sign of medicine is today? Serpent and caduceus. And there's a serpent around the caduceus, the symbol of Esclap, because in those days, snake was the foreign animal and for the earthquake. And because snake poison has been used as an antidote, antivenom. And they used in the hospitals the snake poison for healing people. So that's why snake is the symbol of medicine. And you know, always what's across the hospital? Pharmacy. Yes. So on the right was the pharmacy, on the left was the hospital. And you'll see those original signs. Please pay attention. Here is the caduceus and the snake. And the other one, look, pestle and mortar. And you see the pestle and mortar, the symbol of pharmacy is there. You can take the photo. Perfect knowledge.
All right, babe. No.
And a nice open space. I'm in contact with the old excavation team and I get the latest reports about Ephesus. So I will share it with you as well because, and some books not published yet because we are still discussing. And sometimes we decide that the building is the hospital. Next year we say that no, it was not hospital after a new discovery. So, but I will tell you the latest scientific news about Ephesus. By the way, we are sure that this is the hospital. Can you see that? This building. Yeah. It was not small. It was 3-story. It was big building, and all the medical utensils discovered inside in the local museum. And we have a local museum in Selçuk, in town, and there's a big display about the medical tools in the hospital from the hospital. And now there's a new restoration. You see that the new restoration next to it, the arch, and it was a fountain. It was a public fountain. The name of the fountain was Polio. Polio was an architect, very famous architect. You know, there's when you visit the other side, like Bernini, Michelangelo, they're famous and architects, the builders. Polio was very famous. He built a fantastic public fountain, like Trevi Fountain in Rome. Beautiful statues were decorated, piece of stone, and there's a lady with the wings. And she's a very famous Roman goddess. Her name was Nike or Nike. And she's the goddess of my tennis shoes. You know? Yeah. But actually she was the goddess of victory. Victory. And her Greek name was Nike. Roman name was Victoria. She's the one they prayed before the Olympics for victory. And when you win, they believe that she's going to come and honor you with her wreath and made of bay leaves, laurel tree. That's why always in her hand, she's like an angel flying to bring you the victory. So I'm so sorry guys, there is no goddess I can show you about New Balance or Adidas or any other brand name. But at least we have the goddess of only if there are children in my group, they're getting upset. They said, oh, why they are goddess for Nike but not for New Balance? Can you see the wreath in the hand? The victory. Today, it's the same tradition. In the Olympics, they put the wreath to the head of it. Is the wreath of Nike. Nike. Yeah, but commercials, but it's also very good commercial ideas. To make by the way, columns and pillars with features like
But I mean, now when you look at
by the way, before we walk down, I want to point out to you, before the excavation, look at the level of the mud. The mud was there, and then right up here, imagine from that hill to here, It was all mud like this. Can you imagine how many tons of mud has been cleaned to come down to this level? You know, it is not easy work, and also when you shovel this little mud from there, you can't just throw it away. We have to do sifting and to see what you see. There are sometimes coins, terracotta pieces, toys of children, you know, any household utensils, because there were houses up on the hills. So all the household things just with the mud slides and came down. So inside that mud, still we find lots of stuff. And one thing I will point out, it's very interesting. Look, inscriptions. You can see lots of inscriptions like this. But first they use Greek alphabet, Greek letters, and then Latin, much later. And they were bilingual. And all the inscriptions were bilingual. They were first writing the Greek, and the same thing is written with Latin. You know, it's very interesting. But this is, you can easily see that, Latin. It's not Greek. This one, you can easily read that. But the problem, until 700 AD, there was no punctuation and no space between the words. Can you see that? It's all together, so it's hard to find the beginning and the end of the word. So you have to read everything just to get the understanding of it. I can read here, for example, something medical. Can you see that? Medical, like something related to, maybe there was a statue of a doctor here. But by coincidence, it is one of my discovery. When I was reading the inscriptions, I found the right letters. So we see use the Latin alphabet, the same alphabet, and the right Latin letters followed each other and made a sense to me. And I started to make joke about that. I was asking my clients, you know, who was the most famous singer in Ephesus? They said, no, we don't know. Of course it was Elvis. But it's the same, I love Elvis. But, you know, end result, some of them believe that. They say that, oh, did Elvis come here? No. I said, oh my God.
I saw that. I love Elvis.
If you're an Elvis fan, you can make joke to your friends taking the photo.
Yes.
Even Elvis has been to Ephesus. OMG spot. Oh my God. If you want to say oh my God, take the oh my God pictures. Walk up here.
Okay.
Just here. So just photo spot. Go here and say oh my God and take your photo.
I can do that.
And then after taking your photos, follow me. We will walk through a gate, very famous gate. The name of the gate is Hercules Gate.
Is that the lower city?
This is the lower city. After the Hercules Gate, it's the lower city. Or commercial. You see, there are two identical guys, beliefs on the hills. And he's Hercules. That's why we call the gate, name the gate, Hercules Gate. It is not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. They want to emphasize the power of the state. Because after the gate, this is not a state area anymore. And from the gate all the way down to the port, this was the commercial part. And the name of the street is Champs-Élysées. No, the name of the street was Curites, the Curites Street, which was the most important main highway. I want you to all imagine chariots, not people. The horses and the chariots were going up and down carrying stuff. And it was not safe for the people to walk on the main street, so that's why they always use the arcades to walk. Behind the pillars, you see, on the right and left hand side, there were arcades lined with the shops. Can you see that? The vision. Those were all both sides. There were shops. This was a commercial street, and also decorative because they decorated the street with fantastic statues. Look at the pedestals. On each pedestal, there was a statue standing like this. And it's not difficult for us because when we read the inscription underneath, we know who those guys were. They were all rewarded people. They were all the famous people contributed to Ephesus, like this guy. He was a doctor. It says Alexandros, the great physician, honored here. He was the guy, doctor, worked against malaria. That's why they put his statue. Maybe he didn't find how to treat the people, but he learned that, he found out by coincidence, and mosquitoes doesn't like the smoke, especially when you put little arsenic in it, the burned arsenic smoke. He was asking slaves to make a fire around the port to keep the mosquitoes away. And for a while, and the problem of malaria stopped in the city, they honored him here. And there was another one, like a governor, like an architect. You know, all the famous people on that pedestals were decorating. But unfortunately, and that big earthquake when it hit the city, all the statues fell down and rolled down. Unfortunately, the heads, the delicate parts and the hands are broken. And today we carried all these statues to the local museum, but they're headless and armless. Like this guy, you know, most of them headless, armless. And we put the exhibition. The heads are on one side, and the statues on the other side. All the time fresh water, and travelers were so easy. They didn't have bottled water like us, so they could easily get the fresh water from here and drink it. Animals, and for any use, and they get the water from here. But they were very practical people. Every night they washed the streets, but instead of using buckets, at the side of the wall there are holes, and with the lids and plugs. They were just taking the plugs out. The mosaics street. You can see the all original mosaics here. You know why? Because I told you this was the high and they built all the luxurious things in this houses. You see that metal construction, and then the terrace island I showed you from the bus. I was pointing out that. Under that, there are houses, Roman villas. The most expensive ones, because they were in the best location. Nothing changed. Even today, before you purchase a house, you say location, location, location. So this was the location at the crossroads with a sea view in the middle of downtown. We call them terrace houses because they were, in order to get the benefit of the view, and they built them in the levels, different levels, like in terraces. Look, all the way to the top. None of them blocked each other's view. Imagine like an apartment building, but not standing like this, in the terraces. So far, we did the restoration of 7 villas. Huge Roman. And interior decoration is fantastic. Mosaic floors and frescoes on the walls and the rooms and furniture, because after the earthquake they left them as they are. Sure. And then whatever furniture discovered, taken into the museum also. So it gave us a great idea about the lifestyle in Roman period. So my clients from United States will understand better, sort of Beverly Hills of Ephesus. And here was the rodeo. If you come closer, look, can you see those ones? These are shops. But there was an arcade, which we called Stoa again, Alyarku Stoa, the most exclusive shopping area. And these stores, it was not Marks and Spencer, Zara, and Mango. And these were Cartier, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Starbucks was at the end. You know, the most expensive stuff was here. We know the perfume in the shops, perfume bottles, and beautiful furniture pieces, Greek vases, you know, all the, and also in one of the shops, we find old stuff. We found an Egyptian statue from 600 before Christ. We found a Mycenaean pottery. We find a Greek vase from 300 BC. So it was a big shop. Why in a store there's all this stuff? We understand. Yes, it was an antique shop. Even there, because you know, wealthy Ephesians, one of those guys may be interested to decorate his house with the antique things, and there was an antique shop. The reason I say that, the one at the end, Starbucks, and it's big.
These are all shops then.
And there are marble tables, the shelves, and we found broken mugs. And there was a sort of food court at the end. Maybe after shopping, they were also chatting and drinking and eating something. Nothing changed, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing changed. If you look at here, can you see that? It was a very exclusive shopping area. Maybe the travelers right here. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorites. Beautiful arch. Again, turn around and you're listening to me, ladies and gentlemen. And now you see a beautiful temple, but again, not for a god or goddess, for another Roman emperor, Hadrian. Have you heard about Hadrianus? My English clients always know that. In the Scottish border, there's Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
And what's the wall behind the Hadrian's Wall? Antonius Wall. Antonio Wall, because Antonius was the boyfriend of Hadrian. They had a big love affair. Also, like Mark Antony and Cleopatra, they came to Ephesus for their honeymoon. And they stayed together. During their stay for 2 years, Ephesians honored them with this temple. Unfortunately, when it has been discovered in 1960s, everything was on the ground. We put the pieces of stone together, but we were lucky to find the original ornate pieces to put together. Look at almost everything in the corner was just at the pieces, not decoration, not decorated. Those are the filling, but the rest is original. And they use the Keystone technique. In between the stone, no plaster, just the gravity. But after putting the stones together, they lock the stone with the stone in the middle, is the keystone, head of a lady. The lady is Tyche, goddess of fortune. And the people were not saying each other in those days, good luck. They were saying, Agata Tyche, means that Tyche be with you. You know, Tyche bring you good luck, because she's the one giving you good luck. And also the reason always they use as a keystone a lady and a female, not a male figure, because ladies are the ones lock the family, bring everything together. And right at the back, can you see that figure? We discussed a lot. And first we thought it's Medusa because of the curly hair, snake hair. But now we are still discussing it. It's impossible because in history never they carve Medusa with a body, only head and the snake hair. But there it has a body, and it's hard to say if it is a male or female. Even it has boobs and a beautiful face. So now the latest discussion, he is the Antonio, the boyfriend of Hadrian. Over there, you see, it's like a she-male and a male. So then both of them honored here in this temple. It's a beautiful temple of Hadrian, or Arch of Hadrian, built by Ephesians at the beginning of 2nd century AD, Roman period. It's called latrines because, of course, travelers, when they come, they had their needs. They wanted to take a bath, they wanted to go to the toilet, and they wanted the company of the ladies. So this was a complex with a Roman bath, public toilets, and brothel. All together. The reason these toilets are famous, this is one of a kind. All around the world, there is no other ancient public toilet bigger than this. The capacity is 48. Can you imagine? 48 men, not ladies. Ladies, we still don't like to sit together. And the men used to sit together side by side, shoulder to shoulder, cheek to cheek, literally, with no privacy. You're going to see that. And there are marble benches all around. It's almost like a square structure. All around there are marble benches with the holes. They used to sit on the marble holes, very social, because they could easily talk to each other and whisper and talk about the gossip, politics, and maybe business, you know? If two guys came from the port, they discussed, maybe they were reading their tablets.
Did she just say Playboys?
But it was very practical, functional, because after they finish, they didn't need to flush like us.
No.
Down under there was a running water and the canal that cleaning whatever they did. And after they finished, there was one problem. There was no Kleenex in those days. They put in front of the seats a bidet. Look, can you see the canal? There was fresh water running, but in the fresh water, there were sticks and sponge wrapped in one end. So after they finished, they grabbed the sponge and stick and did their cleaning. So they put it back, and the next one grabbed it. Yes, they used the same sticks. Washed it, you know? They washed it.
They're original, are they?
These
The marble.
marble ones are original. And here is the bidet and the sewer down under. Of course, I want you to think that it was very elegant. The walls covered with marble, mosaics on the floor. In the middle, there was a fantastic fountain. There was a fountain. We discovered two marble dolphins. Mouths opened. From the mouths of dolphins, water was running from the corners to the fountain. They did it on purpose to create the sound of water. You know, sound of water is inspiring.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
when you just sit here and then hear it, sounds. And at the same time, if imagine 48 guys ate the beans the previous night, and the sound was terrible. So that's why to cover the sound, the sound of water was important. Even some books talk about there were musicians by the pool making music, and not to entertain them, also to make noise. To cover
Yes.
the noise. Yeah. It's hard to believe they were better than Japanese toilets because they heated the seats in winter. Here is the proof. If you look in the walls, there are pipes, terracotta, hot air, steam was coming right under the seats. So those guys were clever. In winter they sat on the warm, and then maybe a little steam was coming underneath. And they didn't want it to leave. Maybe I'm too informative, but this
Fantastic,
is the truth. By the way, I want you to make the ones photographers, make your telephones and cameras ready. There's a gorgeous chance from this corner. Look at that beautiful view of the library, the public library of Ephesus. The name of the library is Celsus Library. Highlight of Ephesus. One of the highlights. Look at this gorgeous structure. Of course, in front of it, I'll give you a chance to take your photos as well. And you can also make selfie.
Good, isn't it, babe?
Here under this fantastic pomegranate tree. And even reserve seats for you if you're tired. Can we sit? Sure. You can.
So this was Cleopatra's sister's coffin, tomb, and she was poisoned. When Cleopatra came here for her honeymoon, she had her sister murdered, and because she wanted the guards to go and kill her, generals to kill her, but they said it would cause too much attention for the town, so they sent some generals with poison on their rings and poisoned her, and they found this only 5 years ago. So I'm going to now put the camera straight inside the tomb of Cleopatra's sister. The saying is the brothel is here and the library is there and the shops are up there, and what they used to say is that if a man and a woman, obviously the married couple, he would say he was going to go to the library while she went shopping. However, what she wouldn't know is there's a tunnel that was dug underneath the library that went straight to the brothel. So while his wife was thinking that he was having a good reading up on literature and history and so on, he was actually in the brothel having a good time.
Something really very, very interesting. Look, can you see that? I don't know if I have my water. I forgot it. Just if anybody has got a little water, I want to wash it. Just very little water. Look, there's just this one. There's the lady. Can you see that picture of the lady?
Yeah.
And then there's a footprint, but this is a left foot, not right foot, and a heart, a cross, and something rectangular. She was a cha-cha. You know what's cha-cha? Yes. Yeah. She was the lady running the brothel. Her name was Claudia. And after one of the hot nights with the mayor, he whispered to the mayor, "Darling, the business is not so good. Can I make a little advertisement? on the harbor way, so the sailors passing through can see it. And he got the permission from the mayor, and he put this graffiti over here. She wanted to give a very discreet message. She said, "Gentlemen, if you want a lady, if you want to find and see me, this is the way to go, straight ahead. On the left, at the crossroads, you'll find love." You see, a lady, the way to the lady, this way, left, and then the heart. But she was clever. She knew that looking at this picture, they can't recognize her. She left a little business card underneath. She gave her name and her price, and she said, "No money, no honey, guys."